Okay, welcome again, City Heroes Video Tours. For this video, we are going to go ahead and we are going to do the origin area of the labyrinth. It's a new area. The only badge you can get from there would be this one, the Lucid Dreamer badge. These other two badges here come from doing the new missions that you can do in the core, which add up to this new accolade here. And you really want to make sure you have this accolade and this accolade before you even try doing the puzzle part of the origin area. So do all that, get all these badges knocked out of the way, plus the other map badges and the other badges in the labyrinth well. Just sweep all those badges out of the way. And also make sure you've gathered and consolidated all the gladiator motes, which gives you the Gladiator in the Fog costume power. You do need that for this. And you'll need a couple other items as well, but we'll get to that. Okay, for a slight bit of safety's sake, because the origin is not a safe area by a long shot, I'll shut Beta Decay down. We're not there to fight, we're there to explore, we're there to get some items, and then we're there to get the heck out. Being defeated is likely going to happen in a couple spots because the origin, like I said, it's not safe, and there is a giant monster that patrols the area. Do yourself a favor, don't bother trying to fight it. You're a little out-leveled by it. So, here we go, to the origin area. Again, make sure you have the Lucid Dreamer badge knocked out of the way, because you really should. Alright. Next step, put on the gladiator suit. No sign of the giant on patrol yet. This area is basically a very dark and distorted and twisted Atlas Park. Okay, those are coordinates to make note of, because we're going to go to them all. And I got plenty of fuel in the jetpack, so let's fly. Combat is to be avoided at all times, because the enemies in here, well, I'm an L50 plus incarnate, and some of the enemies are level 60, so don't try to fight them. Here's the first person we click on, Fragmented Echo. Take note of what they say. There are clues in the dialogue to each and every one of these. We'll get to, So there's that. Also, feel free to pause the video should you desire, so that you can read the text a bit more. Also, to make sure you make note of the coordinate numbers that are there in the supergroup chat window, because, yeah, you do need those coordinates. Disclaimer, I did not figure this out on my own. I had the assistance of some other people I run with. I had other projects in the game and outside the game to occupy my time. There is no new badge linked to this. This is a puzzle where you can, upon solving it, gain a bit of a power upgrade. It is a nice power upgrade for the most part, yes. It is not mission critical to the survival or performance of your character. Our characters have performed just fine for years before they added this into the game. So, this is purely optional. At least at this time. Should they ever link a new badge to it, well, then it may not be quite so optional. And honestly, I have no knowledge if they're going to do that or not. Part of me kind of hopes that they don't. There's enough badges in the labyrinth already, but that's just my own personal opinion. So again, I was assisted by others on this. Solving puzzles is more their jam. I had other things I had to take care of. Both IRL and in-game, so... And again, no direct badge, so... I wasn't feeling 100% incentivized at the time. But that's just me. They were happy to help. And I was happy that they did help. Okay, here's the other one here. That was number 3. Let's go for number 4. Okay. At least the fog in here is not quite as dense as it is in Echo Dark Astoria, but even so. Ah, yes, here we are in the train yard. Yeah, that was number 4. Let's go to number 5. So again, just to reiterate, you want to knock out all the Labyrinth badges before you even do this. This is like a little bonus content. The main thing about the Labyrinth is knocking out the badges. Also, for the bonus power that you get, you do need those 2 accolades I showed you. You'll see why when we're done. Here's another one. Next one, this way. Again, feel free to pause the video to read their dialogue. This little puzzle we gotta go through here, it almost reminds you of some of the early Tomb Raider games. But again, that's just me. Whoops. Okay, that thing you just saw running there in the fog? Yeah. That's the giant monster that patrols the area. A lot of these fragmented echoes will be in this patrol pattern. You have been warned. Do not tangle with him. If you have a high-powered team or league with you, then perhaps you might, but you may also want to be level shifted from a Minotaur hunt. Which currently I'm not. The Minotaur is still very much active in the main part of the lab, and that's fine. And as you can see, there's no map for this area. This is Atlas Park, though. Just like I said, very dark and twisted and distorted, so... There we are, here's the next one. So you could punch up a map of Atlas Park on another window, should you desire. That might slightly help you, but... yeah. Not really necessary once you have the coordinates. There we are. So far, so good. Also, by flying and thus not staying at ground level, I have a lesser chance of attracting the ceiling level. Anyway, I have less chance of attracting the attention of the roving giant. So that's what we call a good thing. As soon as you go ground level, you might be in its patrol zone, and well, that could be bad for you. So for those that don't like to fly, well, tough. Okay, so that should be all the fragmented echoes. Next up, we need to go to a spot right in front of the hospital. Warning, this spot is most definitely in the patrol pattern of that wandering giant. Only one person can do this at a time when you get to this spot, if you decipher the clues and if you have the right ingredients. Okay, there's no sign of him at the moment, hallelujah. So you gotta stand right here in this circle, right here. If you've deciphered the clues properly, then you will know that there are 3 inspirations you should have. Emerge. Okay, something zapped me into the outer darkness just a little bit too soon. We can't go here quite yet. That's okay. That's alright. Being defeated in this is to be expected. So we're perfectly fine. We still have the coordinates. We can still get back to where we were. So, that's fine. This does have the potential to become a comedy of errors, because you can be very easily struck down like I just was. Don't depend on stealth, even if you're a stalker. Just do this ASAPDQ. Okay, back here at the spot. I have no idea what struck me. Okay. 3 inspirations you should hit while standing on this spot. Jetpack's off, don't need it. Emerge. Impenetrable. Uncanny insight and viewment. The door is now responding to me, which means now I can go in here. You are somewhat safe in here. And we need to talk to Girl in Darkness. Who are you? Again, feel free to pause the vid or just do this yourself to read all that text. Okay, you know the Dream Doctor? Mm-hmm. Doesn't really matter what you say to prove that you're real. Basically, it comes down to the old philosophy, I think, therefore I am. So again, you pick whichever one you want. Keep going through the dialogue. You could... well, let's ask what the heck. Okay. Well, that's what happens when you take her try to take her power by force. Okay. Again, I did mention the concept about comedy of errors, so... everything's fine. So let's go back there. Gear up in the costume and go, go, go. Whoop. There's the giant running around right there. That Labyrinth Guardian. Beware of him. Let's see if I can get into the hospital still. Okay, good. I did not need to restock inspiration, so that's good to know. Alright, let's talk to her again. Again, it doesn't matter which one of those you select. So, okay, well this time we're not going to ask this question, since we now know what happens. Just hit accept. And we get this, the Nightmare Seed. Okay. So now, I'll be linked to this person, for better or worse, if I use that item. And I'll be able to tap into the Labyrinth's power outside the lab. We'll show you how. And you'll need a Drought of Fog inspiration for when you're outside. Okay. Now, okay. So now to finish the bargain, I have to use this. And what's going to happen next is mandatory. There's no way to stop it. Click. See? I could use a Wakian Revive and talk to her again. Or just go right to the hospital. For now, I'll use the Wakey. And quickly put my Glad suit back on as a precaution while I'm in here. Whether the Gladiator suit's 100% mandatory from some of this, I can't say for sure, but you know what? Just have it and put it on. You can ask for another Nightmare Seed. This is a good thing. You could collect Nightmare Seeds, like I just did, but you only need to use it once to get the bonus power that I now have. That's a done deal. You can't sell these. You can't give them to other players. You can email them to yourself so your alt can claim it and thus get the bonus power right away without having to go through everything I just did. It's currently designed that way, so enjoy it. Currently designed that way. Could change, could not, who knows, but that's how it works right now. So by emailing myself this Nightmare Seed, another alt of mine can log in, grab it, hit it, and they'll have the bonus power as well. But again, the bonus power doesn't really count until too many 10 powers. You have achieved these: Conqueror of the Labyrinth and the Maze Breaker. So when I said get all the badges earlier, I wasn't kidding. Wrap up all the Labyrinth of Fog badges. See my other videos on how to get those. Okay? There's videos on how you can get to the moats. There's videos on how to explore the secret areas. And there's a video that gives you the route to the colonnade, which there is a map badge at the end of that, don't forget. And remember, by getting all those other badges, you basically add up to the, they all add up and count, and they help unlock these. Don't forget the history plaques and the core. All of it. Just get them all. Get them out of the way before you even do this. This is nothing but pure bonus material. And again, it's not mandatory that you do this. Okay? It's not mandatory. You don't have to do this part of the labyrinth if you don't choose to. It's all your own choice. Also, by consuming that dark inspiration, I now have the effect fog. Put in my tray here. You can actually customize how it looks in the Tailor. There's a couple different effects you can put on it. You cannot colorize it, but you can alter its general appearance to be like mist or electricity, or basically a shadowy version of bioarmor from the looks of it. And it can be used at the same time as a costume power, so as you can see, click. Now I have it on. Okay. So what's the benefit of this? Well, as you can see now, I'm regenerating. There are some areas where if you have the effect turned on, you will start healing and regenerating. As to what areas they are, well, I'm not going to show you all of them. We'll let you figure out some of that yourself. Now then, let's hit escape. Now from here, let us go to the core for a moment. Yeah, let us use jetpack for a moment. Now now as long as fog effect is turned on, this water is not poisoned to you. I turn fog effect off. Okay, I'm still under the effects of it, so that's good. Good to know. Alright, let's get out of there. And again, there's other places where you'll gain some extra healing capacity. You might want to consider exploring the font for that. Let's go back to the origin. There's something else we're going to do in there too. Okay, so now that we got the dark sea bit out of the way and I have the power and I've shown you a nice effect of the fog effect, we're going to go to this area right here. Again, this will put us in giant patrol area, so we got to be careful about that. But what we're looking for in this area here is right there. The Labyrinth Guardian, this one standing here. I need him to snooze me and send me to that outer darkness that you saw earlier, where I got blasted right away. Now I'm not getting destroyed in here right away because I have the effect on. This effect is what's keeping me alive. Can't fly in here, don't bother with that. And yes, there is something in here. It's the crypt to the Reaper contact that's in the core. Of course, I'm literally navigating in the dark here. Once you find it, you can click the door to his crypt. You'll get a little text window, and then you'll likely also get destroyed by the monsters that are in there. Ah, I think I just saw it. Oh, maybe not. Yep, Dark Gorger. Okay. Oops. Promise, I think he saw me. Okay. And like I said, he's level 60 to my not, so yeah. So you got an idea of what it is around in here, wandering in the dark, and what can happen to you. There's bad things in the darkness. Let's quickly revive and quickly reactivate the effect because it was killing me as I arose. So. You can't fly in here and don't bother with super jump, but apparently super speed still works. And the coordinates to go to in here are right there. Move fast. That thing came right back at me. And he's probably still in hot pursuit. So here we are. Once here, you gotta kind of go clickety clickety click as fast as you can. They seem to be blocking me from hitting it. And they got me. When you click the door to his crypt, you will get a text message. Unknown what it does. is totally unknown. That is for future content that's in this. And like I said, this is going to be a bit of a comedy of errors. What it ultimately does, dunno. I was able to survive in there for a little while against those things, but was that because of the fog effect or me being a tank? Good question. I don't know. But let's get back in there. And now resetting for that. Running fast as we can. The monsters are already on the move again. Let's see if I can pull them and lure them away a bit. This is extremely hazardous, but... Okay, that's enough of the taunting. Okay, now I can see the door and hit it. There. Without having to click all of them. Okay. That's that. That's what you do in here. You just go here, you click that door, unknown what the bonus is, and as you can see, once again, comedy of errors. That's okay. Alright. That is all the stuff currently known in the origin area of the labyrinth. So again, get all the other badges out of the way first before you even waste time trying to go in there. Now, one moment please. I had to pull a drought of fog out of storage for this. Now we're going to leave the labyrinth, because I've got all the badges for this, so I know the power is going to work. Okay, take note. Those two accolades that were up there from the labyrinth are gone. They're deactivated. They only work in there normally. Let's again just show what they are. Right there, Conqueror the Labyrinth and Maze Breaker. Extra end and extra HP end. Okay. But because of what we did, now I can do this. And now they're back on. For a limited time. For a limited time. Once the Drought of Fog wears off, they shut off again. Oh, you know, hey, it's nice to have a little bit of extra XP endurance boost, yes, but again, it's not exactly mission critical that you have it. Your character can survive just fine without having to do this. I'm not knocking it, and I'm sure there's more to it that has not yet been added into the game. And that's fine. There's no rush. And again, you can email these to yourself and give them to your alts. That way you don't have to go through everything that I just did for each and every character. Okay, one moment. Okay, I warped over to one of the Master Task Force contacts because I want to test something out. Setting it to Master Mode for a moment, which shuts off Incarnate and Temp powers. Can I still use Drought of Fog and get the power? Yes, I can. So these work on Master Mode. One moment. Okay, I just used LFG to warp over here to Zoe, because we want to test this out as well. And somehow doing that shut down the effect. Interesting. So we're going to put this on to 1-star mode. I know for sure this wouldn't work on 4-star, but let's try it on 1-star. But what do you know? I have the power again. Good to know. Now I want to test something else. I zoned away from comms contact and the power quickly switched off. It's supposed to last for as long as the drought lasts, but I wonder, does zoning deactivate it? Let's find out. Yes, it does. Okay. So in other words, if you really want this thing to work, you gotta do it in the mission and hope it lasts throughout the mission. And then as soon as you zone out, it switches off to use it again, go into the next mission, hit another drought, and so on. Okay. Nice to know. Okay, so that's how you get it. It's up to you if you want to or not. If you think this is worth it, go right ahead. Me, I'm kind of ambivalent on the matter. But anyway. Just make sure you have all the Labyrinth of Fog badges first. And the mode of the Gladiator, which gives you the Gladiator costume power right here. Then you can go ahead and do that little origin area that I just did. These cannot be sold on the market right here, and they can be emailed to yourself to pass to your other alts. You can't give them to anyone else. You can't store them in your base. Don't bother. And again, the Drought of Fog power boost works until you zone or the Drought of Fog inspiration wears off, whichever comes first. But it looks like it'll work on Master Badge runs and 1-star runs, so, hey. If you want to give your character a little bit of XP endurance for each mission, bring some droughts with you. Or not. That's up to you. I never needed them before, but hey, it's nice to have the option, I suppose. And also shout out to Operative Salamanca, to Wolf Pride, and to Lemming for the information on this. Much obliged, fellas. Good teaming with you guys as always, and looking forward to doing it again in the future. But shout out to them, because they're the ones that figured this all out and passed the info on. Alright, cut, and a print, and a wrap. I'll see you on our next video, and as always, turn your computer off and go outside and play.